What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the page. Now, I was born ready, and son of Mexican legend Julio Cesar Chavez, they're wasting no time. Now, out of nowhere recently, I've done several videos about this, it was announced that a rumored fight, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Canelo, may be negotiated, and it was kind of out of nowhere. Now, I guess it's not technically out of nowhere because Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he came back, he had a fight in Monterrey, Mexico, and he fought against Dominic Bridge. Almost said Dominic Brazil. Well, he's damn near a heavyweight. Chavez is pretty big. But he fought against Dominic Bridge, won a decision. Afterwards, he called out Canelo, called out Triple G, and I guess that raised the antennas on Golden Boy offices, and they're like, okay, he wants to fight. Scratch their head, that could be big. So they're wasting no time. Shout out to ESPN Deportes. They just did an interview, and well, actually it's an article, and I'll put the link in the description. If you guys don't speak Spanish, you're gonna have to translate it, but it's from Salvador Rodriguez, and they have sources that are part of this negotiation. They didn't name it, I don't know, but obviously it's ESPN Deportes, so they have a working relationship with Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. and Golden Boy. I mean, they've all been on their show, Golpe, and stuff like that. So I do think this is a credited source, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's not like some random YouTuber that no one's ever heard of or something. You know what I'm saying? So ESPN Deportes, they're saying that Canelo's team, they sent out an offer, they're firm on that offer, and they're just waiting for Chavez Jr. to agree to the terms. Now, the fight, they're willing to go up to 165, so Chavez Jr. is going to have to lose some weight, three more pounds than what he lost in his last fight, right? And the fight is being talked about for Cinco De Mayo, which is obviously the perfect date. Floyd Mayweather being retired, he kind of took that date, and he fought a lot of Latino fighters, things of that sort. But now him out of the sport, now give the opportunity to two actual Mexican fighters, Canelo Alvarez and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. It'd be big. Now, I don't know how big, you know what I mean? Because in terms of meaningful, it's not as meaningful as when Oscar De La Hoya, Olympic gold medalist, stepped up to fight then cash cow Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. However, this is big business. They're talking about if Canelo, I guess Canelo's team is waiting for Chavez Jr. to respond, and they're giving him like a week and like, hey, if you're serious, here's our offer. It's a firm offer, and sign on the dotted line. So to give you guys some of the parameters from reading the article and stuff, 165 pounds catch weight, which is fair. Canelo would have to be moving up. He just fought at 154, so he's moving up a lot of pounds, you know what I'm saying, to make that. He's moving up nearly 10 pounds to make the fight. Chavez Jr. rehydrates pretty well. Then the offer, from what it says, is $6 million guaranteed. Now, one thing that was confusing about the article, at the end, in the last paragraph, it says that they would do promotions beginning in early February or January to start promoting the fight if it's signed, and they're going to do a stop in Mexico. Obviously, that just makes sense. And they says, although it would not be a pay-per-view fight event, but then before it said he would get $6 million and he could get more. So I don't know exactly how that works, but they're saying when it's all said and done, based on the success, maybe it's like distribution in Mexico, even though it might be on regular HBO in the States. I don't know all the parameters. Again, I'm not in the cutting room floor, but from the article, what it's basically saying is that Chavez Jr. stands to make not only $6 million, but maybe up to $10 million, $8, $9, $10 million, and that's all dependent on how well this pay-per-view does, or this distribution, or whatever they're doing. So my thoughts, do it. You know what I mean? Canelo needs to gear up for Golovkin. De La Hoya saying and promising the fight. It's a big fight for Mexican pride. It's a big fight for boxing in general, just because you have two names. And that's kind of, you know what I mean? When it comes to casuals, to be honest, that's oftentimes what they look at. You know what I mean? When Andres Fonfara was fighting Joe Smith Jr., nobody was checking for that, aside from real diehard boxing fans. People wouldn't care about that. Maybe even Bernard Hopkins versus Joe Smith Jr. They hadn't seen the Fonfara fight. things like that. So sometimes people just look for the big names, whether they have a chance or not. Like, I'm a real boxing fan, and it's been that way. So I told you guys on my channel several times, I didn't want to see Canelo Amir Khan. I already knew the outcome. Very easy fight to predict. And I'm not even going to go into it again, but very easy to fight to predict. That's why I got it accurate with my prediction. Same thing with Triple G Brook. 7 reasons. It's very easy to predict fights like that. Chavez Jr. versus Canelo. Although it seems very easy to predict, I actually don't think it is as easy as like Amir Khan versus Canelo. I gave him no shot. Reason being, not that he's not talented. He's a boxer, but one, chin issues. A lot of people question his chin. I mean, that's one thing. No rehydration clause. Moving up to Canelo weight. Plus, I don't think Amir Khan's defense is set up like some of the more defensive or some of the better defensive fighters like Adeslani Lara or Floyd Mayweather. Meaning, those guys can get out of the way of shots, use their legs a bit better. Like, you look at when Amir Khan fought Marcos Maidana, one of my favorites, El Chino, Ole Chino. He looked kind of clunky. His footwork didn't look good to me when he was hurt. He was just like kind of skipping all over the place and like running to gain real estate and space. I watch boxing tough. When I've seen Floyd Mayweather hurt, right? I've never seen him panic and start moving around and burning unnecessary energy like that. I've literally never seen it. Marcos Maidana hurt him at the end of the round. He didn't do that. Obviously, a great example would be when Shane Mosley caught him with that shot in the second round. He didn't do that. He actually stood his ground and started fighting Shane Mosley back. He got hurt twice in that particular round. Never seen him, but I've seen Amir Khan do that. Like, when he gets hurt, he's like frantically trying to gain real estate and space. It's like he does. So I knew versus Canelo, it's not like Canelo cuts off the ring like Golovkin, but he's still smart enough, big enough where obviously you've seen the outcome, a single shot. Kell Brook, talented, hadn't fought good competition since Sean Porter, moving all the way up to fight the middleweight monster, Triple G. I mean, it's easy. Like, actual middleweights aren't taking Triple G's power, so you're going to come up, not acclimate like a normal person, and immediately fight that person coming off the heels of Frankie Gavin, Kevin Bezier, Jojo Diaz, or what's his name, Jojo Dan? I would rather see Kell Brook versus Jojo Diaz, but anyway, Jojo Dan performance like that, it was asking too much. And I mean, Kell Brook did good in spots, but the outcome was just what most people predicted. But the difference to me, and I'm not just trying to sell the fight, because some people don't want to see this regardless. They think Chavez Jr. is lazy and undisciplined and stuff like that, and you guys have an argument with that. But I'm telling you, and I talked to Troy King, and he kind of corroborated and said the same thing. The big difference is Chavez Jr. is fucking big. He's big. He's huge. You know what I'm saying? Pause. So Canelo, a lot of times, he is the one that has a dramatic size advantage. Even at a catchweight versus Floyd Mayweather, Canelo was the bigger guy and the more youthful guy. Floyd was like 13 years older than him, something like that. Versus Amir Khan. Amir Khan saying unofficially Canelo was weighing like 183 to 190 or some shit on fight night. When I watched the Cotto fight, Canelo was huge. And I'm not taking anything away. Canelo's talented. He's actually one of my favorites to watch. I like his style. But, I mean, tell me when I'm wrong. Look at him next to Cotto and tell me they look like they're the same size. Cotto looked tiny next to him, right? And that's just what it is. When you look at Cotto and Mayweather, they look about level. But when you look at Canelo's back versus Cotto's, they just look like way different sizes. Actually, when Cotto fought Mayweather, he was the one that rehydrated to like 165, and Mayweather was probably in like the 150s, low 150s, something like that, and he still lost. So Canelo, I'm not taking away from his skill set, but you have to look at it. Like, when I look at Rigondeaux, when I look at Floyd Mayweather, they beat guys who were stronger than them, younger than them, taller than them, bigger than them, maybe at times faster than them, etc. So to me, that's pure skill set only. Like, there's no way you could tell me Rigondeaux was bigger than Donaire. Donaire looked way bigger than him. And you've seen what happened in that fight. You can't tell me that Floyd Mayweather, okay, you could say, oh, Juan Manuel Marquez, he was a lightweight moving up. But what about Canelo? What about when he fought De La Hoya? What about when he fought Cotto? What about when he fought Marcos Maidana twice, right? These guys are all bigger than him. So Canelo, this will be the first fight in a couple of fights where you have a guy with good pro level experience, win, lose, or draw. Chavez Jr. has been in there with Andres Fanfara at like 170, whatever it was, because I think they had to change the weight, but at light heavyweight, basically, right? And he took that off of a long layoff. He's been in there with Andy Lee, stopped him. He's been in there with Sergio Maravilla Martinez, who boxed his ears off, but he had some success in that last round, right? He's been in there with Marco Antonio Rubio, Manfredi. He has some solid names and experience. And again, he's big and he's tough and he can take a shot. So if he is focused, this might be a good fight, because Canelo hasn't necessarily been doing it as much, but at times he fights in spurts, right? And if Chavez Jr. just keeps coming at him and he can't seem to hurt him, then it's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be an entertaining fight, right? And I don't, honestly, Canelo can punch. He can punch, but weight classes are there for a reason. Punching a guy who's 5 pounds bigger only could make a difference. You know what I mean? And I think you'll see that when Triple G fights Jacobs, a full-fledged middleweight, a guy who's actually maybe an inch or so taller than him, you'll probably see Triple G on his game, like, because he knows this ain't like a shorter Curtis Stevens, even though he has power. This is not Martin Murray, a guy who's big with no power, or Rashida. He's gonna. It's different when you fight someone who's of equivalent size and or bigger. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So it'll be interesting. We all know, or most of us know, that Canelo is superior career-wise in terms of what he's accomplished and who he's fought and beat and how he's looked. He seems to take the sport a lot more serious than Chavez Jr. Has a higher ring IQ and skill set, but a lot of people who are just predicting this fight to be a one-sided blowout, I don't really know that that'll be the case. Like you guys already know, check my track record. My prediction streak is pretty high, and I'm not saying I wouldn't pick Canelo, but I'd have to think about it. I see a lot of comments where people, see, and this is the thing, and I'm telling you, like, some people always ask, oh, how you get your predictions right? I take emotion out of it. Like, I've been doing this too long, and it's so easy. There's been a couple times where, like in the past, like early on or something, when I picked off emotion. Like, I don't do that, because you pick off emotion like, yeah, I think he can do it, and you're really in your heart of all hearts, you have a gut feeling that person can't do it, or they've disappointed you, or they haven't been consistent with their performances. It's not safe to do that, because you end up trying to give them hope and a chance, and then they do what you thought they might do, which is fold or whatever. And that's just what it is. But when I look at these predictions, I really analyze stuff, and I think it's a different fight than what people think. Like, some people, they're only factoring in the negative traits about Chavez Jr. And it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. I understand it. I do. I understand that I don't approve him switching trainers all the time and standing Freddie Roach up. Roach is at the gym, flew from Los Angeles to Las Vegas to train him, and he don't even come. Then he wants a makeshift bullshit workout in his living room where they're moving the couches. His pop's a legend, a fucking legend, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. He's trying to tell him how to beat Sergio Martinez and give him game and knowledge, coming from his dad and coming from just being a great fighter and an offensive fighter. He's trying to give him a strategy, and it didn't even look like Chavez Jr. was paying attention. He had them pink chonies on the HBO 24/7, and he was just like eating cereal. Woke up at 5 p.m. and shit. Like, jumped in the pool. Like, fantastico! Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Your dad's trying to help you out, and you eating Wheaties and shit and Lucky Charms. I understand it. Like I said, I truly do. I like Chavez Jr. He follows me on Instagram and stuff, but I'm being real. So he's dug this hole from it. Like, you know what I mean? Quitting the Fanfara fight. He done that. And I understand that, but I still factor in everything. And I do know, if you know anything about, like, the Mexican culture and heritage, there's a lot of pride involved oftentimes, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot that's like up for bragging rights. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the early like press conferences and stuff with Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera. You know what I'm saying? There was bad blood, a genuine bad blood. De La Hoya versus Fernando Vargas. Fights like that. Genuine bad blood. Nobody, I mean, no one wants to lose in general, but nobody wants to lose in those types of fights. Like where it's like your last names are up. Who's the better, the Alvarez's or the fucking Chavez family? You know what I mean? Canelo's brother already beat Chavez's brother. You know what I'm saying? So this is a chance to get revenge. So honestly, I really don't think Chavez Jr. is gonna bullshit as much as maybe he has in the past. I don't know. I mean, he's a loose cannon, so it's always that opportunity. But based on what's at stake, I think it'll be more focused Chavez Jr. Like he might have been sleeping on the from far fights and stuff. His dad told him not to take it, and he did it anyway. But I know I'm just ranting going on, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I just think it's a different fight. A lot of people are easy. Oh, Chavez, easy work. I really don't see it being easy work for Canelo, because just the moving up. You're moving from 54. Those guys like, okay, Liam Smith was bigger. He's like taller and shit than Canelo, but he wasn't more skilled. I don't know how hard he's hitting because he never fought anybody of note, right? And it's not just about height and size. It's just like experience. Name somebody on Liam, win, lose, or draw before Canelo. Name somebody. I gotta talk to you guys like Jeopardy or Family Feud, one of them shows. Name somebody on Liam Smith's resume before Canelo that you would equate to some of the challenges that Chavez Jr. has fought to this point. Andres Fanfara, Sergio Martinez, Marco Antonio Rubio, right? And I didn't really see names like that. There's Matavia is a legend. There's nobody on Liam Smith's resume pre-Canelo that matches up with what Sergio Martinez did in the sport. And that stuff matters. You know what I'm saying? So I'm down for the fight. I would watch it. I know some people feel a type of way and it's easy work for Canelo or whatever and don't want to see it. But I think if we get the Triple G fight for the winner, then I'm all for it. And it's a big business fight, makes money. Let me know what you guys think. Drop that in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.